Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review. Today it's time to finish off the 2018 spring season with my final review for it. And as you know, I like to keep something good for the end. So today I am reviewing Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai, or Tada Never Falls in Love. Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai was one of two romance comedies that I had selected for the season, so let's see if it was the best one. Like the name suggests, this anime's main character is Tada, more specifically Tada Mitsuyoshi. Tada is a high school student and amateur photographer who, unfortunately for him, has never felt love before. Also, the fact that he lost his parents at a young age plays a vital role in this. One day, while taking pictures, Tada meets a colorful European girl named Teresa Wagner. Teresa is a very fun but also a bit clumsy girl, and you can already see where this is going. But there is something that Teresa is keeping secret from her new friends, and it will influence her entire future. Before I start this review, I must warn you that this review will contain spoilers. I will talk about the ending of the anime and therefore will tell spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled on Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai, don't worry. I will tell you in advance when the spoilers are coming up and will indicate to which time point you have to advance in this video to skip the spoilers. I always like to start off a review with the side aspects, with which I mean not related to the story. So let's talk about the animation in this anime. I like a lot of different types of animation, from very colorful to very realistic. The most important point is that it has to fit the anime. It has to complement the story. And the colorful, lively, bold animation and colors of Studio Dogakobo was a perfect fit for Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai. Dogakobo has a very fun style of animating, which they showcased in animes like New Game and Engage Studio Unidentified. So when I see that Dogakobo is going to make a new romance comedy, then it almost instantly becomes a definite watch. Next in this review are the characters. Despite the characters in Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai not being the most original, on the contrary, I really like them. Sometimes you just build a bond with characters and you start to care for them, and that is what I had with the characters in this anime. Our main character Tada, I kind of related to him. Fortunately, I never had to go through something as tragic as losing my parents, but the never felt love or never been in a relationship thing is something that made me a little bit more invested in his character and his emotions. Secondly, we have the main female character of this anime, Teresa. Straight up, Teresa is my best girl of 2018. She is totally my type and straight waifu material. The combination of her sweetness, her caring nature and her good looks made that I liked her right from the start, and that I rooted for her and Tada immediately right from the beginning of this anime. And a final character that deserves some time is one that I'm going to save for the spoiler part of this review for obvious reasons. But before we get to the spoilers, I want to say that I loved the romance in this anime. This is the kind of romance anime that got me into romance animes and anime in general 4 years ago. And in a year where the romance animes are very thinly spread, in my opinion, this came as sent from the heavens. Despite this romance story not being original at all, which I will get back to, I was invested in this story, and Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai was an anime that I looked forward to every week. Also, besides the romance, the comedy was very good, and there were some dramatic scenes that gave this anime a little bit of extra spice and elevated it to a higher level. And now I'm going to talk about the ending of this anime and one character in particular. So if you have not seen Tada-kun wa koi wo Shinai yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then skip to this point in the video to avoid all the spoilers. The ending of this anime almost tricked me. As I said, I was shipping Tada and Teresa so hard, and of course I wanted them to be together. But the way how they were orchestrating the ending, I honestly thought that I was not going to get that. When the ending credits started rolling, I thought, please anime, don't do this to me. But then as soon as I saw that there was enough time for after credits, I knew that it would end well. And although the happy ending was to be expected, I loved it so much. This is what I want to see when I'm watching a cute romance comedy, and that is the only thing that matters. Talking about the ending, bring in the best man of this anime, Charles. If you have seen some of my previous romance reviews, then you know that I love characters like Charles. Love rivals that aren't actually rivals. Charles realizes that Teresa is in love with Tada before she realizes it, and he isn't a dick about it. He wants Teresa to be happy, and that is with Tada. Also, I suspect that there were already feelings between Alec and Charles before Alec's feelings started to shimmer through. Still talking about the ending and the story in general brings me to my first negative point. Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai is not a very original story. On the contrary, a person falling in love with someone that is totally out of his or her reach is a theme that has been used a lot in romance stories. And not only in anime but also in Hollywood movies. So this anime doesn't bring anything new to the table for romance animes. Now I personally didn't mind that, since I like a simple but sweet romance story from time to time. But if you are searching for something original, then Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai is not the anime you should choose. My second negative point is something that did bother me a bit, being the side romances and the lack of development in them. I said this in previous romance anime reviews. If you put side romances in your story, then you have to give them proper development or it'll be a waste. In Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai there are two side romances. The one between Yamashita and Yui, which barely gets any time at all, and the one between Hasegawa and Sugimoto. This relationship does get some development in the earlier episodes, but then it is shoved to the side, and I hate it when animes do that. It leaves me hanging. I wanted to see if that dumb rock Sugimoto would actually realize who Hasegawa is. And now I was going to say that most likely this is more extensive in the original source material, but I was stunned to learn that Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai is an anime original. So why? And a final thing that also wasn't cleared up was the Rainbow Shogun gig that ran throughout the anime. Also there I was like, come on anime! So as a conclusion, despite this anime having a very predictable and overly used plot, and despite it not developing its side romances, I still loved Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai. 2018 was a very weak year in terms of romance animes in my opinion, but then came this anime that reminded me why I like this genre so much and why I fell in love with it all those years ago. The animation of Dogakobo was on point, the characters were really cute with Teresa in the lead, and overall I felt really happy watching this anime. So overall, I'm going to rate Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai at 4.5 out of 5 stars. I know, a high score for a simple romance anime, but it was brilliant in its simplicity and it made me feel all the emotions that I want to feel when watching a romance comedy anime. And on top of that, I am making this anime my anime of the season for spring 2018. Even if this year would have been stronger in terms of romance animes, Tada-kun wa Koi wa Shinai would still have been one of my favorites. For a romance anime that I love, it's only natural that I recommend some of my all-time favorite romance animes. I have recommended them before, but they're just that good. Romance recommendations for this anime are Anonatsu de Matsuru or Waiting in the Summer, Sakuraso no Pet Nakanajo or The Pet Girl of Sakuraso, Tsuki ga Kirei or As the Moon So Beautiful, and the best fitting one, Just Because. because of the fact that in Just Because, photography also plays a key role just like here in Tada-kun wa Koi wo Shinai, so definitely check out those for more cute romance. A slightly different recommendation is Orange. Orange is a more dramatic anime, but I recommend it because one of the characters here reminded me a lot of one of the characters there. So just go watch it. Also because the story and the message of the anime are truly beautiful. And with that I conclude my final Spring 2018 review of Tada-kun wa Koi wo Shinai. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now, if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in the next video.